Wow. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, James.
Rive in the studio.
The Nooner crew. We switched it up for you a little bit today. We're actually at noon in Los Angeles.
No. Well, yeah, closer.
We're getting close.
We're getting closer to noon in Los Angeles.
Very close to noon in Los Angeles.
So listen, if you're here with us, you're diehard. If you aren't, we understand.
Yeah, we understand.
But
I'm looking at the angles. We're a little stretched out on here, Giorgio, and on the YouTubes, but I actually like it. It fits where we are today.
Oh, because we're trying to be skinny?
Yeah, because the quarantine is really, there's a huge article this morning that said the quarantine is just crushing people's waistlines.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm fine with this. We look
there's
great.
A mirror,
we're really thinned out here.
Really thin. There's actually a mirror in our room that's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, for 1 second, I was like, maybe every other mirror is wrong. And I finally found the only mirror that shows me how I actually look in real life, but not the case, because then I went to another one and seemed to be about right.
We're actually going to give Giorgio a raise today for this because we look great. And
I know.
in real life, we look terrible. Actually, you always look great, Jessie.
Oh, no, but thank you.
Serious.
Thank you very much.
Like, because to me, you're the hottest girl on the planet. So, like, I don't really give a shit about, like, the rest of the world and all that other stuff.
Right.
Probably to my own fault, I guess.
What?
I don't know. I just kind of walk through with blinders where it's just like, all right, sweet. Like, when you enjoy your wife and kids and family and all that stuff, the rest of it's just kind of noise.
Yeah.
Dead serious.
Yeah,
where
for sure.
Every time we come back to LA, obviously I lived here for like 18 years. You lived here for most of your whole life.
My entire life, to the point where literally every street has some sort of memory. Every single street, every single place in LA, mostly Ventura, but even here. I think even on this street that we're on now, I did some weird, it was supposed to be Funny or Die, but you remember that time when people were claiming they were working for Funny or Die, but they really like just did one sketch like forever ago that they used. Mm-hmm. And then for a while people were like being like, well, this sketch is for Funny or Die. Like it's not.
Right.
You just worked there before.
Yeah. And you're going to upload it yourself on Funny or Die. Yeah.
Maybe not. Or maybe you're just telling people that you directed for Funny or Die when in
I think
fact
that's the best way to get talent too.
Exactly.
Like,
so went to some weird apartment, did some weird hot dog sketch.
Yeah.
And that's the memory that comes when I'm like pulling up to this place. So, LA is a big box of
trash
and weirdness, and it just gets worse.
So, in all honesty, like, because I know I joke about this on the show, and so do you. We talk about San Francisco getting fucking crazy and LA getting crazy and New York with homelessness and all this other shit that's going on. As much as I kid about LA, like, I lived here for a long time, and I had an enjoyable time here, right? Every time I keep going back, it just keeps getting shittier and shittier and shittier. And this time is by far the worst. Everything that I talk about on this show about what's going to happen if you defund the police and you just let people take over shit. Like, we did a whole episode on fucking Chaz, for Christ's sakes, right? Yeah. This town is becoming overrun by the homeless, and I am shocked by it. Like, Giorgio was with us on the way back from the airport in Dan, and we were driving up, and you kind of point out things of like, oh, hey, I used to live here, or I did this right here. Yesterday was the first time I felt embarrassed, where I was like, oh my God, there's 900 people outside of this fucking building that I used to live in. That's, it's a homeless encampment, if you will. There was businesses on Vine, like Hollywood and Vine, like just south of that had clearly gone out of business, I guess, because of COVID. And it looked like they had bashed in the windows and doors. So that way, when the tents were set up on the sidewalk, you could just live inside that building as well. You're going to see it right after this show is over, because we got to go to Office Depot directly across the street from this. And it's a whole block full of places that is...
Scared.
Oh, you were?
I'm scared.
Oh, I thought you said you were there. I was like, man, wait till you go today, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, back in the day, Skid Row was in downtown LA. It has always existed. It has gotten worse and worse and worse, but it never crept up into Hollywood and like the Hollywood Hills. Yesterday, just driving through and picking up gear and everything for the shoot for the week, because we're here recording the audiobook for the third St. James book. It is stretched all the way up into the Hollywood Hills, as close as you can go.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, well, a half a more block, and congratulations, you're living in the same neighborhood as Jack Black and those guys. Like, I mean, it is fucking gnarly. And I understand why people are exiting in droves. Everybody's hit me up about the Joe Rogan thing and everything else. And obviously, we're in Austin, Texas now. Austin's got a little bit of homeless problem downtown itself. I'm far out in we're out in the suburbs, so it doesn't really matter. But it has gotten really fucking bad here, to the point where I felt embarrassed and kind of ashamed, like when my friends were here, to be like, oh yeah, man, I used to live here and this was awesome and blah, 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 blah. Because you hear all these stories and you're like, oh, it must be glamorous or some form of it. And there was a form of it that was of Hollywood. It is not anymore. And it is completely overrun. And I don't know what you do. Right. I saw different police officers today going out of a Starbucks. By the way, I've always shit on Starbucks. Their nitro brew, that
you're into it.
Really,
you are into it. Really gets it going.
Apologize, BRCC, but that thing's a real goddamn shot of life. But when I was there, I saw a different form of police that I have never seen before. They didn't look like full officers, but they also didn't look like security officers as well. They were driving in a Jeep Renegade.
Okay.
And it said like bids on the back of their jerseys. Like, they weren't wearing cop uniforms, but it said BIDS. And I'm not sure what that stands for or whatever. And I'm like, it felt like a lower form of police, like that had been defunded or something, where it's just like, oh, so you're not in a cop car anymore. You're in one of those small Jeep Renegades. Looks about the size of like a Kia Soul.
Does it say police on it?
It doesn't, but they were carrying guns. And so it said Hollywood BIDS, or like bids. Again, I don't know what that stands for or what it was, but I was like, man, these aren't real cop cars, and you don't look like a real fucking cop. And they were next to maybe 200 or 300 homeless people that were lining down El Centro right over there and Sunset Boulevard. And I was just like, you guys all right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, man, it's just another day. And I was like, what's the main thing here that you're doing? And they were like, it's mostly these stores. Like, homeless people just get fucked up and roll into these stores like CVS, Starbucks, and all that shit. And, we got to be fragile with them to get them out of here. But that's pretty much what we do all day. And I was like, holy shit, I am sorry.
I will say I do like a little bit of dirt. You know what I mean? I like a little bit of dirt, a little bit of grime, a little bit of drama.
Yeah.
And so I do. I'm not completely opposed to it. If I lived here, it would be a no thank you. But driving in, the little bit of smog, the dirt, the homeless, like, I'm into it.
It's like a Red Hot Chili Peppers video.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like now.
Yeah. But I like that.
But here's the thing, like,
because I don't have that in my normal life.
So when I was in New York, when I was at NYU, there was still streets and blocks, like mostly in Midtown, where there was like live peep shows and shit like that.
Yeah.
Where you paid 50 cents and everything else like that. The meat district, or the meat packing district, was empty. And it was like, don't go in those warehouses at night. Like, somebody will fucking rape you and all that other shit, right? They cleaned up New York City really fucking well.
Right.
And by the end of the 2000, whatever that we're calling that decade of the first 10 years of the 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
The aughts.
Nobody's had a really good name for it yet. Like,
I don't mind the aughts.
The aughts is what they're calling it? I've never even heard of that. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyways,
that stretch of 10 years, New York City was really fucking cleaned up. And then what happened is the guy that was in charge of that, because I think it was Giuliani who was spearheading it, and then they had this architect who was in charge of cleaning up New York, and it became beautiful, expensive, safe. Like, every time I went there for work, it was just like, oh, all right, you and I would split up because I would usually go and see my publisher or something like that. You would go and work on audio files for the day, eat outside, everything else. And it was like, I felt fine that you were going out, like that you were safe and everything was fine. Whereas the 90s was not like that. It was just like,
well, I was out there by myself in the 90s.
And what was your thought on it?
I loved it.
Yeah. Well,
because I just went from Jersey by myself on the bus.
Yeah.
Got groped one time.
Did you really?
On the bus? Yeah, but like fun. Do you know what I mean?
A tit grope or?
Yeah, it was this thing where like we're in the bus and then the person behind you kind of just reaches and you're like, what?
Oh.
And then they like keep sort of,
What'd you do?
I mean, nothing. It was a little bit freaky, but I was on my way home. And I would just love the fucking dirtiness of it. I love the underground weird like pool halls that aren't there anymore.
Right.
The people smoking everywhere, Parliament lights. It's great.
Yeah.
A little bit of danger, but I only went during the day, so it's not going to be that much,
Sure.
And I stayed on main streets kind of thing.
Okay.
Left Port Authority and then kind of went straight up to where it's like nice.
Right.
So,
Well, the reason I bring it up is they hired the guy from New York to come out and do the same thing to LA.
Okay.
So when they were here right around 2008, 2009, and they started to clean up Los Angeles the same way, especially Sunset Boulevard and heading into downtown Staples Center, all that area, like it started started to become really nice.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh shit. All right.
Yeah. They were ripping down all that gross shit.
All the gross shit. They were putting up high rises. And you were like, man, this city's on the rise and it's going to be fucking dope.
Right.
It is not. I don't know if it's the COVID. Because we were trying to figure that out yesterday. If it's the COVID and like businesses are closing down and everybody's just fucking smashing shit and taking whatever they want. I don't know if it's the protest. I don't know if it's the city itself of like no one can afford to live or pay rent anymore. So therefore they're just going to the streets. We saw a tent yesterday that was like 30 feet long. I mean, it was the biggest tent I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And there was like 5 white dudes living in it. And I was just like using their phones and shit. And I'm like,
love it.
Yeah, but is that what we've gone to here where it's just like, all right, well, fuck it. I mean, I'm homeless and it's 75 because the weather's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're going to be homeless. LA's the place to do it.
I've always said that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's 75 degrees. So.
And conversely, like Ventura used to be the worst with homeless people by the beach. Ventura has completely cleaned up. Is so nice.
Really?
No homeless anywhere. Ojai is like freaking millionaire's paradise right now.
It is, but I feel like everybody got out of Los Angeles
and went
to Ojai, yeah. So it's strange to see what's happening here and like literally all these articles you read and they try to hide it. I think the media does. Like, man, I'm here to tell you Los Angeles is a shithole.
Oh, for sure.
Like it is an absolute shithole. The beaches are still the beaches, but I heard Venice is just packed with homelessness where they just can't do anything about it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But, there is a part of me that, you drive in, you're like, oh, man, I used to miss this town. And then you drive through and I was like, nope, don't miss that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm all good.
Yeah.
I'm all good. And, another famous person who got out of here was Kanye. He moved to Wyoming.
Wyoming. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Just got approved for like a 40,000 square foot house. And he's running for president. We had heard maybe it was off, maybe it was on. He showed up to do a campaign rally in South Carolina yesterday. Mm-hmm. And that went about as awful as you could imagine it did.
I told you to talk about this with your friends.
Yep. Can't.
Because I refuse.
Apologize, I cannot.
All right, we'll speak to the camera because I'm not hearing or listening or engaging
right down
in
the
any
barrel.
Troll that Kanye is doing. We've got enough.
Here's the thing. I don't know what it is or if it's a troll or whatever. He had a full-on mental breakdown at this rally yesterday. Showed up with no microphone, no podium, didn't have anything set up. So there was all these people just in this crowded room, and he's just speaking to them about nothing. One of the highlights was that Harriet Tubman didn't actually free the slaves. She just brought the slaves to different white owners. You could hear people audibly gasping in the thing. One woman was just like, okay, I'm done, and just walked out.
Beautiful. That was me, actually.
There was a point where he had talked about, getting divorced from Kim Kardashian, and
that he is going to?
No, that they were thinking about it at one point, like because they weren't sure about what to do when they had their first child. He didn't really want to have a child, and then he started crying inside the room. He was wearing some type of military chest plates and this vest. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on, but it's off the rails. Mm-hmm. Some people are saying it's a stunt for an album thing. I don't know, man. It looks like a guy who's off his meds at this point. But
he's always, even when he's off his meds, though, he always has
been on the edge. He
always has a plan. He's never not had a plan, right? So, yeah. At the very least, I guess it's an album, like a stunt for his album. At the very most, it's the worst person in the world rearing his fucking ridiculous head again and making people talk about him.
Yeah.
Which I, again, refuse to do.
Yeah, refuse to do. That Christopher Nolan movie, Tenet, has now been pushed again.
Oh, again?
By the way, yeah, for the sixth
this is
time
like
this
Scopa.
summer.
This is like Scopa for me.
Well, here's the thing with Tenet. They're now saying the theatrical rollout will not be traditional. That is a very, very big problem. This movie was supposed to bring people back to the theaters.
Oh, yeah.
The theaters are this close to bankruptcy, all of them. I know AMC just took out their last round of debt financing at like $100 million. Last quarter, they lost $2.1 billion with a B. This is $100 million. This isn't going to do it, man. I've heard friends that have said privately that all the independent theaters are already wiped out and then they're all done. I can't imagine AMC and Cinemark being able to withstand this because it's not just about theaters opening in states. You need movies to put in these theaters. With all of these movies being pushed, even they just said The Conjuring got pushed until 2021. I don't know how you can stay open without some form of government bailout. But is there a reason to bail out movie theaters? Is that an essential job? And that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that one. Part of me looks around this city the way things are going right now, and it's like, no, theaters are not essential. Trying to help all of these fucking people that are homeless and out of work and all that other shit, the bailout money should probably be put into that versus theaters. If you're an actor, all the streaming services that are going on and everything, right? They're going to need plenty of television and all that other shit and movies for these streaming services. I don't know. I don't know if the government gives bailout money for movie theaters.
I would hope that they don't. I would rather have it go to small businesses, not even necessarily people in tents.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that would accomplish. Right? I don't know.
But it's if Tenet is gone, then you're looking towards the fall. I think the James Bond movie is the only other bigger release. Because there was a movie in August that was going to come out. It was like a comedy. I forget who it was. That's going to be nuked as well. And I don't know, man. I can't. If one of these movies doesn't come out, I can't see the theaters holding on past October. If AMC wouldn't have took out that last round of debt financing, I'd have said they've been gone now, because they were very, very close to being out. And it's sad. It's weird what's going on. There's no way to really fucking put it where you're just like, all right, cool, man. Even the TV show we were out here to shoot was simple. It was probably a 10-man crew, everything else, and they can't get insurance for it.
I'm down for drive-ins to come back.
By the way, there's a drive-in in Texas where we are.
There's a drive-in in Texas, and then they're also doing this in Buda. There's also this thing that they're doing on the water somewhere in Texas where they have these like little boats like all in the water, and then there's like an outdoor screen.
Theater, yeah.
I'd puke, but I'll do the drive-in.
Sure. I think the drive-ins will make a comeback, actually.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
I am too. I fucking love drive-ins.
Bro.
It's my favorite way to watch a movie. Is it the drive-in? Because I'm in my own car.
And
I can control how loud I want it. I can control the air conditioning. Whatever I eat, drink, booze, smoke, whatever it is, I can control it. Yeah.
Word up.
Whereas, and we used to go all the time in college, but they just kind of went away. They definitely don't have any here in Los Angeles, but they do in Texas, and it's like, all right, cool. And you know what I was checking? Because I'd said this a couple weeks ago on the show. I was like, I think the old school movies will make a comeback there because those were the greatest movies, you know? Like,
right.
You know,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And
yeah. Stuff. For real.
Yeah.
I know you joke about.
No, I'm saying that's like
Moranis
a vivid
all the
memory.
time.
No, that's a vivid memory I have of a drive-in, right? So it's going to be movies that you're like, oh, fuck, I saw that at the drive-in or whatever, as opposed to a newer experience.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
So when the kids get to town and we're all moved in 2 weeks in Austin, I was still getting some work done to the house and shit like that. I looked and I said, all right, I think that would be a fun night, like family night, to take the kids out. And they were playing. So here was the two movies for the double feature, because they're always double features. Right? I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Perfect.
And then Jaws.
Perfect. Can't take the kids. Anything else?
Jaws you could. I don't think they swear in Jaws, right?
They don't swear in Jaws, but I'm not dealing with that kind of... Jaws is
Giorgio's laughing.
terrifying.
Am I a terrible parent for Jaws?
Jaws is terrifying.
Jess is a terrible parent for not wanting to deal with it.
Yeah. Jaws, though.
Terrifying.
But anyways, then the rest of the films that were there were like Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. Dead serious.
Yep.
All of the family movies where you're like, oh, all right, cool. And it's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
I used to go to Long Dong Silver's in college. The Dongers is the best, by the way. If there's any Long John Silver's fans out there, go ahead and pop in a comment on YouTube and hammer that like button for the Long Dong Silver's. Hammer it. Hammer the like button. Because I love a deep fried fish like that.
Sure.
All the time.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
And there
Your
is
palate
one,
is so sophisticated.
maybe 15 minutes from where we live now in Austin, and I'm like, I will be there. I love all of it because they fry the shit out of everything there, by the way. The chicken.
Right.
The fish.
Right.
And then the shrimps.
The shrimps, the fries.
Big fan of all of it.
I think they just have a fryer. Yeah.
Just like a white trash mongrel.
Oh.
Mongrel. I love it.
What a dream for you.
I know.
What a dream for you.
I love those weird, like odd chain restaurants. The only one I don't get down on though is again Whataburger. I can't do it. You and I were talking about it, and
the boards are gonna light.
I'm sure they are, and I apologize. I think it is definitely a Texas thing, and I think you were proud of the place that is in Texas. But to me, I cannot get down on those fucking burgers at all, and so that one's off my list.
Okay.
But like a good Long Dong Silver's like that,
Sure.
that you rarely see them. Well, I had one not too long ago in Georgia when I passed. I did go to, I was at Clayton's house in Alabama, and I was driving back through, and I was like, there's a donger right there. I pulled over and got it obviously.
Obviously, you have to.
Had to.
You go tartar or cocktail?
Neither.
No
so
sauce?
I go cocktail sauce for the shrimp, but I go vinegar for all of that shit.
Oof.
That malt vinegar.
Woof.
I love it on everything at Long Dong Silver's. I will say this: both times I've driven by there's been not one single car in the drive-thru.
Yeah, which is a little
saddens me.
scary too. But yeah, you don't want your fish to be the first fish that they're throwing in the fryer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In like the whole day, for the whole day. Yeah.
But look, I'm a big donger fan, so if I go to the dongers and then hit that drive-in, good to go.
Good to go.
Good to go.
Good to
I
go.
won't be sad if like Fuddruckers leaves. I was never a Fuddruckers fan.
Me neither.
Ruby Tuesdays or
Me
any of that
neither.
shit. But we got the best of both worlds in Texas. There's some in and out down there.
Yeah. Oh, there is?
Yeah. I'm
When
surprised.
did that happen?
I
They
don't
usually
know.
only.
I saw one though, and I was like, look at that.
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay.
We got a couple of down thumbs after I said the Whataburger.
Are
Sorry
you
about
streaming?
that. Yeah, again, fucking slam that goddamn.
What
like
did we
button right
just
now.
tell him not to do? And he's streaming.
No,
the
I'm doing
YouTube
it in
over
low
there.
res, so I'm just checking out the quality. James,
You're doing
Yeah,
it in
it's
low
fine.
res. Yeah.
it's totally fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're the weirdest couple ever
Which one?
is no longer together.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers
Yeah, and Danica Patrick.
and Danica Patrick.
So I am convinced he is a homosexual man.
Sure.
That was the last straw for me.
Which
was the last
part
straw
was
for me.
the last straw? That they were together or that they broke up?
That they broke up because I thought after
Well-
him dating Olivia Munn and not marrying her,
Right.
dumb. I
Dumb.
like, didn't make any sense. And then with Danica Patrick, I was like, well, maybe it's an age thing. Dude, Olivia Munn, I didn't know was like 40. So
Yeah.
no, it apparently wasn't an age thing. It's just him. I think he's just a gay man, and that's it.
Well, he's now linked to someone else.
Who?
One of your faves,
Who?
Shailene Woodley.
Oh, she's not one of my faves.
When it's the
You're
same way.
kidding.
It's the same way that you say your girl to me for like bullshit, like
Yeah.
for Ghislaine Maxwell. Like that's not my fucking girl, dude.
That'll never last. Aaron
Anyways.
Rodgers and Shailene Woodley will
Shailene
never
Woodley,
last.
she has given away all of her worldly possessions and lives on like a farm off the land. I don't
That's
know
true, right?
how that is true. I don't
Yeah.
know how that's going to work.
No, he plays football for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
and
and
there's
is
no way.
very much in the limelight, if you will.
Yeah, he enjoys like commercials and all that other
I would
shit.
think, yeah, and red carpets and events
Yeah.
and all these things.
Yeah, he is definitely not going to marry Shailene Woodley.
No, I don't think he's going to
So-
marry anybody, but I thought,
This is all an elaborate ruse, you know?
right, it's just beard after beard.
Yeah, dude.
He traded in a beard for a goatee.
And here's the thing: if you are gay, right, or you're trying to hide it, he should have just settled down with Olivia Munn and said, "All right, great, let's do this. Here's the stitch, and let's try to figure this out."
Well,
right?
she was obviously not cool with it. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe I don't know what the final answer was on that relationship, but one would
I
have
don't
to
know.
say
She's
it's that.
talked about, she's talked about it.
Oh, she has.
She has, I forget what it was, but she was just kind of like,
Ooh.
it wasn't big drama. It wasn't big drama. It was literally just like we were never in the same place at the same time.
Yeah. 'Cause he was with dudes.
Yeah.
He was chilling with dudes, brother.
Chilling with dudes. Another quick story, real
Yeah,
quick, that
fire
I
away,
don't
James.
understand. Maybe you can enlighten me on this. So, Perry Farrell,
Yes,
do you know him?
I do.
A little bit, right? You're a fringe acquaintance.
I told you that story, right?
Yeah, you did. You told everybody the story.
It's a great story.
He is putting out a $300
Okay.
box set called The Glitz: the glamour.
Okay. And what is it? His music or is
Semicolon, sorry.
Sure.
And what? It's music, yeah.
Oh, it's music. Okay.
$300 will include 8 LPs, 1 EP, plus a Blu-ray disc.
Yep. So this has become a thing
Why
now.
are we...
Yeah, I'll tell you. So
discs.
This has become a thing. So these collector edition of these bands, look, they sell about 40 of them.
Sure.
But a lot of artists have put them out. The last one I bought, because I did buy one.
Of course you did.
Rolling Stones.
I was going to say either Dave Matthews or Rolling
Stones. So it had like, pictures and a book and all this other shit, and I wanted to have
Did it have pubes from them?
Yeah.
Couple of
if
pubes
I could get
in there.
some of mixed pubes,
Bro.
I'm all in. I would have paid fucking $500 for that.
Tie a little bow around like a bunch of them, almost like a haystack sort of situation.
Yeah, just a little tiny haystack full of pubes.
Just a little tiny haystack.
Yeah, pubes. They've been great. But artists have been doing that as a way to say, hey, man, if you're a diehard of my shit, like we'll make these special edition things. He's not doing it to get paid. I can promise you that. Because there isn't a...
No, it's just...
It isn't a big enough market.
It's just Perry Farrell. And
it's
you go...
Oh, it's just very Perry?
It's just very Perry, and you just go, what? What is a... Are there that many songs of Perry Farrell's that I would be like, yeah,
Not... Well, there was a lot with Jane's Addiction, right?
A lot?
Go through their catalog. I think it would surprise you.
Okay.
But there was a lot with Jane's Addiction, and then he did some shit on his own. I'm going to look this up real quick, but God damn it, I hope I'm right on this.
What?
There was a song called We'll Make Good Pets. Was that Perry Farrell, Giorgio?
We'll Make Good Pets?
Yeah. And if it wasn't, I'm sure I'll get hammered in the message boards here on YouTube.
No, nobody cares about Perry Farrell. Don't worry. Nobody's hammering anything.
Well, Perry Farrell's the lead singer of Jane's Addiction, obviously. He does have a lot of fucking fans, but...
Jane Says.
Yeah, Jane Says, all that other shit.
Other than that...
Maybe I was wrong.
I'm not seeing any other song.
Are you thinking of Porno for Pyro?
I am.
That's what you're thinking of.
Is he the lead singer of that?
Let me look up that.
See if he is. Because if so, I think he might have, like, I know he did a bunch of side projects with people. So I bet his vault is huge, actually.
Okay.
Because his whole shit was recording, being vegan.
Yep.
It was, right? He was the lead singer of Porno for Pyros. Fuck you. So yeah,
You
he's
really
got a
know
bunch of weird shit.
You really know your shitty bullshit, dude. You really know your fucking shitty music. And we're happy for you. Man, fuck yeah, I got that bullshit. Porno for Pyros.
Come on. If you played that song, it was a huge song. We'll make good pets. We'll make great pets. We'll make great pets. We'll make great.
Eesh.
Man, James, I'd love to.
Eesh.
I'd
You'd love
just
to what?
lay down, put on some Porno for Pyros, and just,
He had an alter DJ name.
enjoy each other's bodies. Yeah,
Perry Farrell was always a fucking weird one for me.
He
so
had an alter DJ name, Giorgio was saying. So
it is what it is.
look, congratulations. That's
10
that's
best
Barry for you. But
Jane's
I bet he's got a lot
Addiction
of secret hits that you're just like, oh shit, I didn't know.
Summertime Rolls.
I'm gonna be honest though. Been Caught Stealing.
Been Caught Stealing.
When that came on by Jane's Addiction.
I'm looking. It's not on their top 10, but sure. Go ahead.
It's the album.
Oh,
I think,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That album was fucking sick, dude. I mean, to this day, when you hear those dogs barking in that fucking... You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm pointing. And the pregnant woman.
Okay,
the
so
guy
I was
stuffing meat up her stomach.
never.
Jane's Addiction fan?
Jane's Addiction, Perry Farrell, STP.
Oof.
None of it.
All right, Jabes.
None of it.
So says you.
I
so
passed
says you.
right on by all that stuff.
I didn't, man. I got into STP, Stone Temple Pilots.
Okay.
Well, dog, you find her.
That's not.
You got time.
Yep.
Who's that? Who's that? To wait for tomorrow to find it, to find it, to find it. I'm getting no's from all of you guys that that's not Stone Temple Pilots.
What would you say that song would be called?
Yeah. Plush from Stone Temple Pilots. I am on fire today. Damn it.
Vaseline.
Yeah. Vaseline.
And vanishing and Vaseline.
They were huge, man. They were huge. That whole genre where they all kind of sounded the same too. Third Eye Blind.
No.
Yes,
You
dude.
can't lump.
Yeah.
You can't.
Jumper.
No, but you can't lump Stone Temple Pilots and Third Eye Blind in the same. You can't.
To this day, when I hear Jumper, I'm ready to. I fucking.
You're
rip
ready
the
to
knob
jump.
off, dude. Yeah.
You're ready to
I'm
jump.
ready to drive my car into a wall. You know? I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Fuck you. Put on another plate, dude. You know, I'm working out.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Because there's that, the little, when
Cut
it changes
ties
up
with all
towards
the
end.
lies
Yeah.
that you've been living in. And I to see me again. I would understand. Yeah.
Give me 2 more reps, Ross.
I would
Give me 2 more reps. Ah, there it is. Push it out. Give me 2 more reps, brother. Yeah.
I would
So that was how I used to get down to
dance
that.
here, dance here. Keep it quiet. Dance here. Okay. Sorry, I was like,
When Jumper comes on, boner goes up.
Oof, 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 oof.
Boner goes up when Jumper comes on.
Oof.
That's
and
my life. Nothing I can do about it, Jabes.
Oof
you know?
and eesh.
Oh shit,
for
we
sure.
get sponsors. We're just chilling in an LA Airbnb and we get sponsors who pay for this whole shit wagon to be on the air.
Whoops.
First and foremost, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Guess what, children's of the corns? If you are a member of the military, a first responder, a teacher, or you work in some form of government,
If you're an
you get 30%
essential-
off everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everything, right? Right?
Yes, 30% off everything.
Yeah.
Which means they've bumped essential workers up
Assange.
above us civilian dum-dums, but you can still get 25% off,
Can.
2 free pillows, and then you will get a 30% off a bundle package.
Yeah. Package. So get it, dude. The rest of us regular civilians get, we get 25% off. And if you buy a mattress, you get 2 free pillows. The deals at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros are incredible. Go there. As always, they got the 36-month pay-as-you-go program. No interest there at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Get it. I got the cooling mattress on the way. James for the new house.
Thank the Lord.
Thank Jesus.
I think I'm sweating more and more at night. So, yeah, we're going to need that.
It's hot down there. It's hot in Texas.
It's hot down there, and the dry heat thing is not real.
Yeah, it's not right. Heat is heat anywhere you go.
Heat is
I don't give
heat.
a fuck what anybody says. When it's hot outside, it's hot outside. The dry heat. Fuck you. It's all the same. Anything over 95, forget it. I don't care. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com, Jade.
Boom, 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 boom. Shabloinkers.
Shablinks.
First you shabloink. Then you shabloink.
Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. I put a little in my drink to get going. They got 3 amazing flavors. 4 now. 4 amazing flavors. It's almost as if I haven't been drinking it for 4 years when I just said that, you know? I get a subscription. I popped a little in some Spindrift today, and I'm good to go, Jabes. Woo.
I get down with some Spindrift.
Hands a little shaky. Dong is barking.
Sure.
Hands shaky. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. Promo code Revolution, 20% off. No carbs, no sugars, and no gluten, if you give a fuck about that. They'll ship it right to your house. They'll ship it anywhere in the entire world. StrikeForceEnergy.com, promo code Revolution, 20% off. Next up, Jabes. We got Manscaped.com. I used it. I used it before you got here.
Oh, good.
Trimmed up my whole shit.
Good for you.
It's nice. It's a male shaver and a female shaver for your pubes.
It's a female shaver if you don't mind sharing with your
Your partner.
Your
and you
sig.
shouldn't. If you guys are fucking anyways, those parts are touching. So
Yeah, like don't be an idiot.
Yeah, don't be a fucking gross little idiots. Go to manscaped.com today. The Lawnmower 3.0 is their new one. Just order the kits and you're good to go. It's classy shit. It looks nice. And that's the best pubic hair trimmers on the planet. Your balls will thank you. That is their slogan, not mine, surprisingly.
Your mom will thank you.
Yeah. What?
Huh?
Your mom will thank you?
For what are we talking about?
Ugh. Manscaped.com. Promo code Revolution.
No, not your mom.
20% off there, Jabes. Do you have a crime corner today?
I do. Are we
What?
doing crime corner? It's just a real quick one.
Let's do it.
It's a real
Crime
quick
corner.
one.
Crime corner.
Crime corner.
Crime corner?
Dead body found alongside Georgia railroad tracks. Turns out to be a sex doll. So Georgia cops thought that they found a dead body alongside the railroad tracks this week, and oddly didn't realize, like, when you find a body, you can't really like touch it or do anything.
Right.
So they put like a blanket over it, like the white sheet over it, and waited for the coroner to get there.
Smart.
Right. So Liberty County Sheriff's Office believed the lifelike doll was placed there as a setup for the police. But Detective Mike Albritton found the fully dressed body near Dunleave Road around 2 p.m. Tuesday, the station reported by police law enforcement. Allowed to touch the deceased person. They weren't allowed to just touch the deceased person until the coroner arrived. Once he arrived, they started like inspecting the body for injuries.
Right.
And found that it was a really, really high quality sex doll, anatomically correct in everything, skin like woman.
All right.
The fully dressed, anatomically correct doll was realistic skin and features, authorities told the outlet. They had
I would have
never.
to assume it was pretty easy to figure out.
What? Like, how did they not know that before the coroner came? Like, do you really not know? I have heard this that when you see dead bodies, they sometimes look like a mannequin. They look like a doll because of the like lifeness and everything.
I want this for you. I want you to find out because I want it for you.
Right. To really know.
I know how bad you want this in your life to see a dead body. And, but it's got to be found, relax. I can't just take her down to get a cadaver.
No.
You want to find it.
Yeah. Because I've been to cadaver labs and it did not do the same thing to me.
You have?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. My mom went to school to be a doctor in Cleveland Chiropractic, right down here, actually.
Yeah.
And they have a cadaver lab for any kind of anatomy that you need to.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
And there's like hair on the knuckles still, but it like looks very like dark.
Did you see men or women?
Both.
What's your dick look like when you're dead? Shrink up?
No, actually like floppy and then to like the side, like maybe like this.
They put it on the side?
It does what it's gonna do, but it's not sticking straight up, if that's what you mean.
No, I didn't expect it would be.
You didn't think the rigor mortis would do that?
Well, I just didn't know if it shrunk, and it was just like everybody had a dead small dick.
No, I mean it doesn't shrink smaller than what it would be flaccid anyway.
All right.
So it's literally just like,
okay.
All
right. Because what I would like to do, obviously, is because I think, look, I have said many times I want to be cremated and ashes.
Sure.
You know where the ashes go, obviously, in the Gucci store.
Right.
When I die, bury me inside the Gucci store. But I know for you've mentioned numerous times that you would like to have my body nude on display in an full open casket.
I never.
Yep. You said you want the leg part down of the casket as well. Usually it's the top half that's open. You're like, I want the whole fucking thing open.
No, I think I just wanted the bottom. So the top the top is closed. We're good on all this.
And everybody can just remember me by my dick.
Yep.
Do me a favor, because you can give them extra. Like if it doesn't look like
it
should when I'm dead,
I can tell them to pump some kind of like formaldehyde or something in there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of that works. But
tell them I want it realistic but playful. You know, I still want it to look playful when I'm dead.
Impressive, but not unrealistic.
Yeah, but also playful. You know, like, oh, you had a fun little flirty dong, you know? Like, just a playful vibe to it.
Maybe like a bow or something?
I would say the green grass from Easter baskets.
Okay, like, and it displayed on
Correct.
Like that?
Yeah, like, so it's like when you come down for Easter morning and you see all the goodies in your basket.
Oh, yeah.
I want that. Like, I want my goodies to be on display underneath that green Easter egg grass.
Yeah.
So that way it's like, oh, all right, well, shit. Yeah, dude, he had a really playful dick.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I
could do that.
But he had a good time.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Easy, I bet.
Or
Easy
some
day.
type of aquarium sitch for like a lizard. Maybe put like a hot light over it.
A terrarium?
Yeah, terrarium. And just put it over like rocks and like put a little fake cactus next to it and everything.
Oh, I'll have it sort of be like a real terrarium where you're like looking around for like the lizard, the turtle, or whatever it may be, and then boom, you find it's like weirdly
just
underneath, like underneath a rock.
Yeah,
but like just
out.
Poking out a
like
little
the
bit.
Head is just peeking
and once
out.
you see it, you really see it.
Yeah.
But before when you're looking for it, it's like your mind can't compute.
Exactly. So that would be a fun thing of like, all right, Ross is dead. You know, open casket and boom, there's my ding dong in a terrarium. That would be nice.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I want to give you a quick update on your girl getting shot last week. I know we talked about this on the show. Megan Thee Stallion.
Not my girl. Go on.
Yes, it is your girl.
Not my girl. Carry
you
on.
Love her so much. You wish she was your best friend. With that, Jabes, the suspect is actually Tory Lanez.
Oh, so he shot her.
That's what they're saying now.
And then was driving her?
What's
or
that?
Shot her while they were in the car?
Shot her while they were in the car, I guess.
Purpose
and then she
or
jumped
accident?
out of the car. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But she jumped out of the car, and they're trying to press charges against him. But the issue is no one is cooperating. And her friends say that she's getting close to saying, all right, here's what fucking happened. I don't know why the fuck he shot her, but who knows?
Why aren't we saying anything about it?
It's one of those cases where no one will cooperate. So the police are like, hey, man, we know what happened in this. Mm-hmm. Why don't you say something? And I think she won't, simply for the fact of, I mean, he'll be charged with attempted murder, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the gun charges are already going to be there. Because they did get the gun from the car. But the attempted murder, I mean, what are you going to say? You shot one of the most famous rappers 9 times? Strange story.
Yeah.
But they're looking into it right now. And the LAPD has said, we want to arrest him. However,
no one will
will cooperate. And I guess there was like 9 people that were there like throughout the evening. And all of them are like, all good. I'm all done.
What the fuck, dude?
I know. Crazy, right? I want to talk about some breaking news here. John Kasich, who ran for president in 2016, is going to speak at the Democratic Convention. If you don't remember, he was a Republican.
He was very moderate, though.
Yeah.
Almost a Democrat.
I don't know what that does for you, but, you know, Ohio is a big state because he was, governor there? Mm-hmm. Ohio is a big state. I would imagine people are going to be pretty pissed off about this. Strange one to me. Strange one. That's the breaking news for Kasich to talk. Because right now, I haven't heard of anybody.
I like the message, though.
What's that?
I like the message.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why can't we just talk?
I don't know. We'll see.
Find a way to
he's
somehow.
a weird guy.
Yeah.
And I remember him running in 2016.
I liked him.
He was all right. Ohio's fed up with him. But the other breaking news here that is this Epstein case is getting real, Jabes. So I'm going to read this aloud here because this is breaking news. New Jersey Judge Esther Salas who took on the Epstein case days before a deadly shooting. So, days before she fucking took on this case for Epstein, somebody entered her house, dressed in a UPS costume, murdered her son, and tried to murder her husband. He is in critical condition. They don't know if he's going to live right now. She was assigned to handle a class action lawsuit from the Deutsche Bank investors who claim the company failed to monitor high-risk customers, including the late pedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
So the investors also claim in New Jersey Federal District Court that the bank made false and misleading statements about its anti-money laundering policies. Whew. Here's the thing, man. If you're going against Epstein, you're getting murdered.
Someone is.
How is that chick not alive? I mean, still alive.
Still alive.
Ghislaine.
Well, they've got a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got a full year.
They have a full year in custody to do what they're going to do, although they better hurry before she talks to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Because they think she can still.
She
If
can.
She's not convicted. She's awaiting trial, so I think she can do all the things that you're not allowed to do once you're convicted.
If I'm her and I hear this news now, dude, I'm spilling everything as fast as I can and saying, look, get me the fuck out of here and put me in witness protection program. And
They're going to kill me.
yeah, they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
So this is a really strange story. I feel awful for this woman and her child. And there's a lot of powerful people out there. Got a lot of secrets they don't want exposed.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't believe it's that out in the open. I mean, showing up in a UPS costume, not even a real one. Knocking on the door, boom, son and father, and or son and husband, and then yeah,
That's fucking crazy,
Crazy.
dude.
and this is going on in like broad daylight, for Christ's sakes. Shit's getting wild out there, man.
Yeah.
I wonder what she has. She's got to have it all. She's got to have it all. It was another sex therapist who got fucking murked. This is the second one now in like the last few months. Remember Drew Carey's ex-girlfriend? She was a sex therapist.
Yeah.
Is there something to it where it's just like, hey, man, it's getting like this girl's really hot. She's from Russia.
Okay.
So is Drew Carey's thing.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
that wasn't an ex-boyfriend.
It was an ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, that like got crazy with her and
So I've been thinking about this, right? Because they don't know who killed this girl yet.
right.
I think if you're a sex therapist and you're probably down for everything at that point across the board. Once you get broken up with, the people probably lose their shit.
Right, cuz it's that good.
Yeah. And they become nuts, I bet.
Maybe. There are people that can drive other people insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane.
Now, Drew Carey broke up with her, but I bet you Drew Carey's probably had some wild shit go down. I think it depends on the person,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. That's a stretch a little bit, but yeah. I would have to maybe hear one other story.
This is just a guess.
A pattern. Yeah.
It's just a guess right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
But that's my thinking on it. Yeah.
Interessant.
Yeah. there was a guest on Drinkin Bros who's a friend of yours. I'm not going to say who it is.
Okay.
Female.
Okay.
Had a lot to drink.
Okay.
She told some crazy stories where she was just like, the reason why everybody stalks me is because I'm the fucking best. And you were just like, whoa, all right.
Huh?
Yeah.
The reason why everyone stalks me?
Yes, is because I'm the best in bed. And I think that's the same thing with the fucking sex therapist.
Oh, okay.
Why they're getting iced, right?
Oh, okay.
So I could see it. And then Drew Carey one, he just threw her out the fucking window.
Yeah.
With this Russian chick, I don't know what happened here. But she is like a supermodel, it looks like.
Right.
And you're just like, what the fuck? What do you have to do to become a sex therapist?
I've also found that a lot of therapists are crazy themselves.
Really? I don't have that much experience in it. What's their whole sitch?
Most of the time, I mean, it depends, but some get into it because of their own issues. And then sometimes the whole practice itself drives you crazy. And they're always just a little bit fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Dealing with that many people's problems, taking on that many things, you get sort of like a godlike thing where like you're so much better when in fact you are not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a weird fucking profession. I mean, it's
it's
much needed, but
it is. It's completely needed.
It's hard to find a good one. That's the reason.
It's completely needed, but it's one of those things where like all these fucking crazy stories, and that's all you're hearing every day. Wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a podcast out that just started recently where they're just dropping like random tell-alls for like therapists. Look it up after we get off the show today.
Well, I know they have one that's called Where Should We Begin with Estee Perel or whatever, which is one of the like best marriage therapists, and they do the whole session they put on a podcast.
On the podcast?
It's like anonymous. You don't say names and stuff. No like defining characteristics like where you're from, where you live, whatever.
Right.
But they go through the entire session of marriage counseling.
No shit.
Yeah. And then there's a show on Showtime where they do that as well. And people are full on going through the whole thing.
Oof. Like real people?
And now that's your real name, your everything. Like Showtime probably has a lot more money to give. But yeah.
Yeah.
For that to be worth it.
God damn it, man. I would pay, since Hollywood's out of content and everything's shut down. I mean, literally everything is shut down here in LA right now. I would have paid to see Amber Heard and Johnny Depp go through one of those.
Yeah, because
it'd be the end all be all. All the shit that has come out in this trial has been so fucking crazy that if that was captured on film, I'd be hooked every week.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Leah Remini and the Scientology shit.
Yeah.
I watched all that shit, man.
Yeah, me
I couldn't
too.
believe it.
They just started a podcast as well. The two main people from her show, the guy that used to be in it and her. I think what's so fascinating about watching it is that everybody feels like they're in the right. I think when you go into marriage counseling, right, initially you're like, they're going to tell me that I'm right. And everything that I said, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And then it ends up being completely not that. But you have to have that attitude in order to let people film it, right? So there's no way that if you knew how you were going to get annihilated and be like, oh shit, I'm actually the problem, you would never agree to it, right? So there's a level of narcissism with that, right? Or this level of like, we're good. The whole world's going to see that I'm right.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
I would pay to see those two crazy fuckers. I don't know what's going to happen in this trial, by the way, but if you're following it.
I don't, but Winona Ryder's going to testify as well.
No, she's not anymore.
Oh, she's not?
She's not anymore, yeah.
His ex is, right?
Yeah.
The wife, mother of his kids and stuff.
She came out and was just like, dude,
he's never been like that with me. So it is definitely exactly what we said, which is these two are just very toxic for each other.
Right.
And it's not a pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
It's something that they do to and with each other.
Yeah. The last thing I want to chat about today is I went to this place called New Fit in Austin. Friend of mine was just like, hey, man, there's a new way to work out where they hook you up to like electrodes and shit like that.
Sure.
Now, we had to wear masks during the workout, which is tough.
I can't believe that, but yeah.
Yeah. But there was only like 6 of us in there, and they hooked up like these shock pads to your muscle groups, and then you worked out according to what that muscle group was for the day. And when we got started, I would say it's quick because they put the pads on you and they wrap them up with this like, I don't know, kind of Velcro-ish type thing. And when they put the pads on me and did it, he handed me because that day there for their class was abs, or no, I'm sorry, not abs, biceps and triceps.
Okay.
It was arms day. And he said, you'd be the most sore that you'd ever been in your life from a workout. And I was like, no way. Absolutely dying inside today.
Right.
I went a couple of days ago, right before I left, to try it out. with a buddy of mine, and they give you like 8-pound weights. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, well, you're doing curls. And I was like, with 8 pounds? I was like,
yeah,
bro.
Buddy, please.
He was like, by the end, you won't be able to do any. There's no way you'll be able to do any. And I was
just doesn't seem right.
I'm not sure. And if anybody else has tried it, write in the messages on YouTube right now, or write in the comment section at the bottom. But I tried it, and this is the most sore I've ever been. I don't know if it works or not. Or if you just kept doing it like that. I will say this. It felt like a very efficient way to work out where I was just like, okay. But this is the sorest I've ever been in my entire life. And it is hard holding my fucking arm up.
I just don't believe in shortcuts when it comes to working out.
It isn't a shortcut because you're doing an hour class, right? And you're going from machine to machine to machine and all that shit, right? But you're hooked up to, these shock pads, and it's like your muscles are just
so
blasted.
Weird, dude.
Super
So
weird. Is it? So the reason why I wanted to talk about it, is it the future or is it just a fad? Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think the only way is a consistent
HGH
and a consistent workout. Because the problem with that, like, I would do CrossFit with like our neighbors, and I would get so fucking sore that I wouldn't even be able to use my muscles in a real way for days. And
that's
it
how I felt
all
today.
just goes away. So if you don't go back the next day, work that lactic acid and like keep going,
right.
It's fucking pointless.
Well, I went right before we left just to try it out.
Just to
I was
try
like,
it,
all right,
yeah.
I'll give this a go because we're going to be here for a week shooting shows.
You need to be
We're
able
going to try to go
work
live with
out
you guys
the
every
next
single day, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I'm curious to see once you start doing other muscles and start going every day, what that is like and how you feel after that. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. It was super intriguing where I was like, oh, this is the future. They had cryo in there. Or just
that I'm down with.
And then laser saunas?
Yeah, because they use the
infrared. Yeah. So, and there was some jacked dudes in there who were like in their 50s. And I was like, all right, maybe, who knows? Like, because if we're all fucking robots and all that other shit. Because I remember when Terrell Owens started using those bands. And he was the first one to be like, he was jacked as fuck. And he goes, I only use these bands to work out with. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
But then after you do them, after like, a rep of like 15, your arms are burning and, there's little to no weight involved. And you're like, oh, shit. Maybe there is something to this. So maybe there is something to this thing when they hook you up to shit. I'm going to go back and work out the other muscle groups, and then I'll report back on how this is. Because if this is popping up around the nation, look, it's either the future, like the Jetsons, or it's a complete pile of shit. So we'll see. Either way, Jabes, you look great.
Thank you.
Back in L.A.
Thank you.
Back in Los Angeles. I will say this, most of the restaurants are open. There's kind of outdoor seating.
Well, a lot of places in LA have outdoor seating, so thankfully they can.
And Danny Trejo is taking over Hollywood.
And I love it.
Trejo's Donuts is here. He's got there was a sports bar I used to go to all the time. It's now called Trejo's Cantina. He's got a taco shop. He's got coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
Trejo's
He's
Trejo
covering
is LA.
all the bases. We love to see it.
Yeah. And Craig Dulesky.
First in the room.
Today.
First in flight.
Craigers. We're
First in
proud
flight.
of you, brother. Real proud of you. Some people are asking about Sean Talmas. You're asking about fantasy football this year. So, fantasy football-wise, yes, on Drinkin Bros Sports, we'll be doing that. But probably in about 2 weeks, because we want to make sure that there is actually an NFL season. It's strange, and I don't know what's going to happen with it. Like, the players are bitching about it now, about the safety protocols. I don't know how that sport plays, to be honest, but it does look like baseball is going to happen, Jessie. So we watched last night's their version of a spring training game when the regular season starts next week, and I was like, all right, everybody's far enough apart that, yeah, you could probably get this done. So I feel a little bit more positive about that. Football is still the gigantic mystery. And then the NBA is still currently on track. It's 10 days away from opening season of that, so we'll see. I'm kind of hopeful. because I just want to see something. But it was weird watching. They had the Sunday night game on last night. All the announcers were calling it from their living room, which was strange. And then the stadiums that were completely empty. So last night it was the Cubs. And it was weird seeing Chicago Stadium.
Did they have the like cardboard cutouts?
No. They didn't have any cardboard cutouts. They didn't have any of that. And there was like one girl that was in the stands. And I was like...
And they're doing crowd noise, right?
No.
Oh.
So it is... It's silent and it's kind of jarring. The play-by-play guys are going to have to be really fucking good at this. Because there is no noise. And baseball is definitely a sport that needs noise and songs and things like that. Like... Because there wasn't any of that. So... We'll see. But yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to be here live with you every single day. Probably a tad later because it's super early out here. But
right. I mean, yeah. We'll try around the...
rain or shine. Around the
12 or 1-ish.
Around the noon or 1-ish area.
Noon or 1-ish as usual.
Yeah.
Really.
We'll see how things go.
To be honest.
We'll see how things go. But Drinkin Bros, we're going live every single day as well. So we'll be here with some of your favorite guests. And some new ones that are coming to hang with us, and then you and I are recording the audiobook with a bunch of people for the Third St. James book. As the sun rises, it dawns on him, which will be out at Thanksgiving. So we're super amped. And Giorgio, proud of you today. There was little to no error. What we have a camera go down?
Too much power off this one outlet.
Yeah, well, that's LA though. I'm not going to pin that on you. All of these houses out here are like from, 1940s, 50s?
Yeah.
Who knows what the fucking electrical's like in here?
Seriously.
I almost had a place burned down out here.
Yeah. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. By the end of this,
of
course.
Yeah. We're going to have to pay for this whole entire Airbnb. So, love it. Love to hear it. Love to see it. It's probably about $5 million.
Yeah. And the other part about shooting Airbnbs here is there's usually rings on the outside of the door. And everybody does this for production. They'll just rent an Airbnb and shoot it all week, and they hate it. So we had to walk in with like all of our camera gear in silent and everything else. And they were like, "Oh, what do you guys do?" It's just three bros on a trip, because you weren't here yet.
Right.
Just three bros on a trip, no big deal.
3 bros on a trip.
Yeah.